20th century's first half saw the emergence of great leaders in regions where people were oppressed by the European imperial powers. Second World War had weakened the imperial powers all around the world and created an opportunity for these leaders to break the shackles of slavery and declare their independence. And many of them got succeeded. Then these political leaders become great leaders or founding fathers for their people. This first generation of leaders was mostly humble and contented at whatever they had achieved, and they tried to work wholeheartedly to develop and strengthen their nations. After them came the second generation of leaders who inherited state or political legacy without any struggle. We can call them the children of the great leaders. This generation was the most ambitious, greedy, and ruthless generation, and they created an era which is called Decade of Turmoil. They not only opposed the ideology of their predecessors but also set trends in politics which made the life of their people miserable. The list of these children is very long, but we will discuss only one child in an episode, selected from a single region.
Our next child in the list of children of the great leaders is Haile Selassie. He was the emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. He came into power with the support of courtiers and nobility that were facing an unaccountability situation in the hands of the then crown prince Lige Iyasu. In this way, Selassie came up with a formula to rule over a feudal empire, just by keeping the nobility and courtiers happy. Selassie attempted to modernize the country through a series of political reforms, including the introduction of Ethiopia's first written constitution. And of course, this constitution kept power in the hands of the nobility. It also limited the succession to the throne to the descendants of Haile Selassie. Unlike his predecessors Menelik II, who had defeated Italians in the famous Battle of Adwa in 1896, Selassie was defeated by Italians in the Second Italo-Ethiopian War in 1937 and spent the period of Italian occupation in exile in England. He returned to lead Ethiopia in 1941 after the British Empire defeated the Italian occupiers in the East African Campaign. He hardly focused on the development of agriculture, which was the backbone of his empire. He built no water reservoirs to store water for irrigation. He constructed no roads. He couldn't even provide clean drinking water to the major part of his population. When Africa faced droughts and famines in 70s, Selassie and his government tried to hide the situation. But when it became out of control, then they began to admit that the empire is facing a worst human catastrophe. Thousands of people were dying because of hunger and drought. International community tried to help Ethiopian people, but they surprised to know that they couldn't reach the people because there were no roads. Helicopters were not sufficient in number to provide foods to starving people. People of Ethiopia in those desperate times, and mostly because of the threat of being starved to death, tried to build roads with their hands. Hundreds and thousands of Ethiopians constructed over 200 miles of roads with their bare hands. But still, international aid proved insufficient and famine engulfed millions of Ethiopians. Nobility tried to hide their failure, but because of the reaction from international community, the government had to resign. Oil crisis worsened the situation, and Selassie couldn't control the inflation and couldn't satisfy the growing demands of its nobility and army. He was overthrown in 1974 military coup and was murdered by the junta on 27 August 1975. He was the last king of the Solomonic dynasty, one of the oldest known continued dynasties in history.